Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, extra special welcome for you. I'm gonna go ahead, let's get a pre-shuffle just to see what it is that you need encouragement with right now. Right off the bat, I am getting the sense that there is a real need to keep pressing forward, but given that everything that is going on right now, we still have to find ways to prioritize our mental health, our well being, our physical well being. And the reason why it's going to feel tense, and it feels more like some mental tension going on, but it's going to be important at this time. It's like slow and steady wins the race, but maintaining forward motion without pushing it and without necessarily pushing yourself. There's this balance to make sure you're not stuck in stagnancy, but you're not pushing yourself too far forward because a few of you are still not on track. A few of you are a few degrees off. And it's one of those situations where it's not so bad in the immediate term, but when you're off by a couple of degrees, that makes difference it makes a difference of several miles as you go down your path. So before I go to cut, trust the universe has a plan for you. And I think a lot of you you've been working on manifesting, you've been working on trying to uh put away a previous version of you, a previous lifestyle. It's been awkward because you've never been in this place before. And in some ways, it's sort of like, well, I'm happy to be at the dance club, but could somebody please show me the moves? I think that's a little bit of what you guys could be struggling with, but I have not seen this gal for a while. We have Goddess Kali. Step into the unknown. Do not be afraid. Oh, I love this. I'm actually going to grab the Kali Oracle because I feel like Goddess Kali does have a lot to do with what is going on because it sounds like you still need to cut certain things out of your life. And that could be belief patterns, it could be physical objects. We'll see if we can get some more information on that as we go down. But as we shed, let go, make room for greatness, this really has a lot to do with you going through a transformation. We also have movement, inspiration is drawn towards motion, manifestation. What you seek is seeking you. I urge you again, don't be stagnant during this time. Yes, you are going through a magnificent shift in your reality. And it's one of these things where movement is medicine. There are certain forms of rest and recuperation where you shouldn't be moving around. You don't want to go jostling too much. That's not this emotional energy. This is more like you need to keep moving. You need to practice just even the concept of moving. Like for those of you who've been aware, I've been doing surgery, and during my recovery, this is definitely a surgical procedure where movement is extremely important for my own personal sense of recovery. Because when you move, like, you get the juices flowing, you can maintain your muscle structures. And in some ways, whatever burden that has been lifted from you, it's going to make this movement a lot easier. But what does Goddess Kali have to say to the collective at this time? Mahakali. So I'm going to grab this Oracle book and we'll get a message from Kali. This is also number 16. And I'm hearing, happy sweet 16. Well, I am 18 plus. There is something about that version of ourselves when we turn 16. I think the Spanish tradition is called a quinceañera, sweet 16. There's something quite rejuvenating about what Kali wants to do for you. So here's her message. Her magnificence steadies the anxious mind and reasserts the heart of the empowering grace that rises through trust in her. Attempting to fathom the wisdom behind the workings of the Divine Mother would be like trying to cram an entire ocean into a teacup. Such wisdom is vast, and our perspective is limited. Yet we don't need to understand divine will to benefit from it. Better to allow her creativity, resourcefulness, and unlimited vision to take effect in our lives, bringing us ever grace, bringing us every grace necessary for our blessed benefit. Keep hearing. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Some of you are just at risk that of your lizard brain sort of hijacking you and making you feel as though you're doing nothing or you're not doing enough. But I see it right here. What you seek is seeking you. And I'm actually being told if you have been doing a lot of manifestation meditations, they're not necessarily bad, but there's an ask for you to be very thoughtful but not constantly hyper manifesting all of the time. There's an ask from the universe of, hey, I have tuned into something that will benefit you. Can you please allow me to bring it to you to be accepted or rejected before you start making the next step? Because it's not just like a pile of money just appears in front of you. That's extremely rare when we get those opportunities. They do happen, and that could be like, $10 suddenly shows up in your bank account because of a clerical error or somebody wins the jackpot. Now, when it comes to you, this is about a diligence, because if you just magically had money appear right before you, but you didn't understand how you got it, you don't understand the lesson learned, it could go away just as quickly as it shows up. Mostly because you have to learn how to manage your energy, money, health, your time. A lot of you are really learning how to manage your expectations of self, expectations of others. But there's also just an ask here, even from Goddess Kali. Can you allow the divine to do the work for you? Our little peanut brains can only handle so much at once. And as much as we'd like to think we know everything, true wisdom comes from knowing that we know nothing and honoring where it is that we are right now. Tomorrow does not exist. Yesterday is in the past. What can you do about what's going on in your life right now? So, let's get some cards so we can focus in a little bit more about what it is that you can release and where it is you can focus. But before I go to not, oh no, we're gonna shuffle. There's a temptation just to skip over stuff right now. With the Seven of Swords, this is hanging on a razor's edge, one-sided conversations, one-sided truths, and also afraid of being bitten. I think a few of you guys, yeah, there's this real need to slow down. It's not stop, just slow down and take in your surroundings, because you still have attachments to people, teachings. This could be social media connections, family members, limiting belief patterns, or even people who have, it's sort of like they have their fingers in your money. Like that'll probably resonate for one or two of you. But let's have a look at what the fuck do you think is going on. We'll also ask what the fuck is actually going on. We'll ask for the higher perspective from your higher self. We'll also ask what is you can release so that you can move forward. Where is it you can focus, and what's the potential final outcome? Yes. There we go. Three of Pentacles, and this is teamwork, working together, but also making sure that you're working in environments that are amicable to your health. Like, well, ants are all about teamwork and collaboration. There's something going on in your life that's still making you think it's okay for people to kind of step on you. It's like, well, I was a footstool in a past life, so might as well just keep that up. And it's like, no, you don't need to do that. Like that's more of a kink scene. And if that's what you want to do, great. But even kink scenes, they have an end point. You start it, you do whatever it is you want to do. We don't need to get into that, and then it ends. But this cycle has been non-ending because nobody has declared stop. Only you can declare stop. But we have the sun. Like in this deck, there's only two cards that actually have any kind of sunshiny energy to it. It's actually a very dark deck. The Animal Orion tarot. Underneath there, Eight of Swords, but it is in the reverse. There's something about just you shining your own light, and it's a little bit too easy to say it this way, but it's sort of like you shine your light and things just work out. It's not that simple, but there's something to be said about other people will perceive it that way. You know what you've been through. And in some ways, you're still trying to learn how to accept your past, accept what you've been through, because you've been through a lot, but then also being able to tell the story to somebody else without a way of spreading the trauma. Because a lot of people right now, because of social media, it's so much easier for us to whine, bitch, and moan and try to get other people's attention on our own wounds. And there's an ask right now to really release, really forgive. It's time to let go of what happened in the past. So, what do we have at the top? Did I cut? Ooh, 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 okay. Sure. That's what we're doing right now. Okay. Five of Cups. From the Sun down to immense grief. Whew. Queen of Swords. I've been seeing, yeah, Queen of Swords has been coming up a fair bit lately, and that's having an honest and frank conversation. I think a lot of you have been hyped up in the light, just thinking that's what it is. That's the assumption. If I'm just light and bright and airy and fairy, like they're all going to get figured out, right? 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 No, there's a need for you to speak up and a need for you to speak your truth. And this is going to help shed a previous version of yourself, because it's sort of like you're halfway through this particular transformation. And I think a few of you are a little bit worried about losing something essential. While we have a bit of the daisy head going on right here, there is still an ask for you to really get to know your body, to get to know what your body is trying to tell you about the people that you've been involving yourself with. Yeah, it's funny that I did another cut because, yeah, we had that Three of Pentacles, then we went off to the Sun, and now we're back down to the Five of Cups. That was an interesting. So you have an energy that's hijacking you. That's what this is. You've got somebody hijacking you and making you second guess with what's going on. So this feels like a little bit of an external issue. Okay, so we got Nine of Wands. There's someone really trying to persevere. It's super weird. The moment I pulled this card out, nothing. This is the weirdest thing I've ever felt. Like, I see the card, we see the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is like, it's, powering through diligently, maybe having to get through a difficult circumstance while recovering from injury. But I get the sense that you've recovered from something. Let's keep diving in here. Two of Cups. Wow, whatever this is, I feel like there's somebody incoming that's really going to help you cleanse your energy, clear the air. This might end up being a long reading. It's super weird because I know that I double cut and I had all this information and then I was told to cut again. And now I feel this void. It's not even so much avoidant. Stop trying to pursue things that are outside of your alignment, because you do have somebody who will be able to complement what's going on. You still need to stand up to somebody. And I think a few of you, whether it's standing up to the monsters in the back of your mind, I actually sense some of this could be physical, because we seek out therapy or diviners or coaches or any kind of, clergy to help us slay the demons in our mind. But given that I do have this, there's a Nine of Swords and a Queen of Cups, but we do have this Queen of Swords and the Five of Cups. There's a truth about how somebody's energy is really bumming you out. This could be someone that you're constantly disagreeing with, somebody that you might have admired them, but they're just not resonating with you anymore. We do have the card of death. Like I want to clarify these together. This is a curious read. This is a very curious read. All of a sudden, like my nose wants to get all itchy. Like, it's like there's something that's trying to get released out of your throat chakra. Because in order to initiate this transformation, in order to allow Kali to step in and start cutting away what no longer belongs, like you have to consent to this change. And I think a few of you are really worried about saying yes to something without having any guarantees. This is where faith comes in. Faith is the counterpart to truth. We talk a lot about Archangel Michael, but Archangel's counterpart is Archangel Faith. And that's knowing within your very core being that you are following your truth. Because if you're getting into arguments with people internally or externally, and it's draining your life force, there's a real ask to move on, move forward, and have faith that even if you're disagreeing with somebody, that when you're listening to your inner truth, that's okay. Like, given all of the craziness that is going on within the world when it comes to media, what is truth? What is fact? I'm going to ask you right off the bat, don't concern yourself with that battle. That's a matrix program that keeps your state of consciousness at a lower level. It takes great courage to look into your heart and your soul and know what your truth is, and not having the need to enforce it on somebody else. I feel like there is an energy that is trying to force you to conform to their ideology, because maybe whoever this is, whatever this is, they only feel good knowing that they have the most votes or the most likes, or they have the idea that if they have a bunch of people who agree with them no matter what, like those are called sycophants, brown nosers, if you will. If they're surrounded by everyone that agrees with them, it soothes their ego. So there's somebody's ego that you're being asked to kind of take a step back. Five of Wands. It's minutia. It's bullshit. It's just one of these things like, oh my God, why are you just throwing this all at me all at once with the Queen of Pentacles underneath? Like, it's sort of like this person's being a little kid, acting like a child, trying to say things that just bother you to keep you engaged. Like, this sounds like a bullying tactic that I constantly dealt with as a kid. My sister did. She eventually apologized to me, but my sister used to egg me on intentionally just because I was so easy to stir up. Like, I'm very easy to, get poked at and have myself overreact because I was just constantly depressed all the time. But what do we have? The Mother of Swords came back. Okay. You really need to have an honest conversation with yourself. If you can't have this with another individual, like especially if you don't have a personal relationship with them, you have to have a cold, honest look at where you're getting your information from. Where are you getting your, I want to say data. That's not quite literal, but let's get some more. We got the moon. Okay, yeah, this is a very unconscious warning. Daughter of Pentacles, not Pentacles, Swords. There's some kind of awkwardness within here. Whoa. Four of Swords. So yeah, this energy, what they're doing is confusing you. If you're noticing your dyslexia is kicking up pretty badly, that is one indication that you are sharing energy with someone who is confused, or they're just out of your alignment. Again, this doesn't have to be a bad person. They could be an extremely well-intended person, especially if this is like someone online that you've been listening to and you've been sort of a devoted follower, like you've gotten a lot out of this situation. But if you're finding yourself confused, getting weird signs and synchronicities, even some upsetting signs, I want you to listen to that. Your soul is trying to guide you in a completely different direction so that you can focus on what it is you truly want out of life, not what your ego thinks that you need. What is it that you can release? Nine of Pentacles. What can you focus on? Eight of Wands. God, this is the weirdest reading ever. It's this feeling as though if you just were yourself, you went out on your own, you'd lose this. Because, like with a Five of Cups at the very base of the tarot, with Nine of Pentacles at the top, I feel like you have some fear of being yourself, that it actually will not yield any kind of healthy results. But there's so much chaos going around that in some ways the universe is putting this pressure on you, and just sending all of these signs at you. I really feel like your guides and ancestors are really trying to get your attention on something so that you can release it. You don't need to be dedicated to this energy anymore. It served a purpose for a time and place, but wherever it is that you are going, like this person, this belief system, this career, it's going to keep you small. It's going to keep you codependent, because that's what Nine of Pentacles is in the shadow aspect, is a very codependent energy. And the universe is not going to allow it to happen to you. Like, you have so much loving energy right now. Kali is the goddess of destruction and rebirth. And in some ways, it's like she's showing up with all of her swords of truth. Like, I think she's got 3 swords of truth in this particular deck, because the portal is small, like by our human understanding. And if you have all of these like cords and threads and all these things that are distorting you, you can't fit through. And Kali is just trying to give you this opportunity to just let go of things that are not in your alignment. Not in your alignment anymore. You need to honor the person that you are right now. We got a more butterfly energy. Transformation that's leading you into your own sense of balance. Again, so that you're not codependent on other people's approval, or codependent on them even confirming what your intuition is already saying to you. Yeah, Hanged Man, stuck. In some ways, stuck and feeling cozy about what's going on. High Priestess, 4 of Wands. There's the Daughter of Pentacles. Because if you recall earlier, I did Freudian slip. Like, it's one thing to talk, it's another thing to do. And as long as you stay in this old situation, you'll talk about how it is you want better things in your life. You'll talk about how you're going to do better, or you're going to do better solo. But this is about going from inaction to action, but not depending on other people to step forward first. Some of the things that you're going to be learning at this time is how to ask for what it is you truly want, and how to feel okay if someone says no, but knowing that you can manage yourself when they say yes. There's an ask right now. What is it that you truly want out of your life? Take some time, journal it out. Ask yourself where it is in your life that you know it's done, it's over with, and you don't need it anymore. Look at the things that you're, even on a subconscious level, ready to enjoy again. Was there a hobby that you really enjoyed doing that you're feeling called to engage with again? Because that's where you're going to be finding a lot of your answers. Don't be so focused on the physical realm. I'm being told a lot of this has to do with how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your life and circumstances, and where it is you truly want to go. Just call on Kali to ask for help, and trust the Divine Mother will be able to cut away the etheric cords so that you can see clearly what the next steps are, and have faith that you are going in the right direction. I'm just saying. Wow. Well, I think that's the message. Whoever you are, damn, I sincerely hope that this helped. There's been some very weird readings lately. So if this resonated with you, please make sure to like the video, toss me a comment. It's always neat to hear what you guys are getting out of these messages, and it helps me know what direction we need to go next when it comes to these particular readings. Subscribe if you would love to have some more support on this, and join us on Patreon for some high vibrational resources and Reiki meditations to help guide you through this dense energy. Otherwise, when I see you guys at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries.